What's up, guys, and welcome to Billy Talks Ball. It's a brand new YouTube channel presented by me, and I'm going to be discussing all the latest Chelsea news, from transfers to rumours to games to pre-match analysis of the potential lineup that we could be looking at, and all that sort of great stuff. So if you are a Chelsea fan, don't forget to subscribe. And also, if you are a football fan in general and like to keep up with the news about Chelsea, potentially you want to look at how we're doing or anything like that, then please head over to my channel and please watch all my latest stuff. Now, subscribe and don't forget to turn the notification bell on. Now, let's get straight into the video we are discussing today, which is the Chelsea squad. Now, if I move my camera out of the way for you, you can see that we have 5 tiers of the Chelsea squad. We have untouchable, first team quality, squad players / bench players, not good enough, and get out of my club. Now, the first player we're going to be discussing is Mendy. For me, Mendy is not good enough anymore. I think overall he has had a good start with Chelsea over his career, when he did start with Chelsea, but unfortunately now he's getting a bit he's been making too many mistakes, which is costing us goals, costing us points, costing us position in the league. Not solely down to Mendy, of course. There's 11 players on the pitch and it can't be put on one person, but he's definitely not been one of our best players. I don't think he's been good enough. He was brought in to replace Kepa, who we're going to speak about now, and he's going in first team quality. But Mendy was brought in to replace Kepa, and ultimately he just hasn't done that. Kepa came back into the starting 11, looked phenomenal against Palace, looked phenomenal against other teams as well, but he's making a few mistakes now, and I'm bored of this 2 goalkeeper sort of thing we're playing, whether it's Mendy or Kepa, or I want us to have one solid goalkeeper and then a backup if need be, and I'm happy for Kepa to be a backup if we bring in a good keeper, a good quality set of hands to stick in between the sticks. Now, moving on to the defence, we've got Reece James, untouchable, and I'm going to put Chilwell in untouchable as well. These 2 players have been our most important players going forward, our most important players defending. They offer so much variety, whether it is going forward, crossing the ball in, cutting inside, taking a shot or laying it off. Both players are used so crucially in Graham Potter's system. So for me, them 2 definitely go in the untouchable. Azpilicueta, not good enough. Credit where credit's due. Azpilicueta has been a great servant to the club. He's been with us for over a decade, and I think overall he's one of our greatest players. Not the greatest, but one definitely up there in the conversation with the longevity that he's had with us. But it's time to move on now. He's getting slower. Mistakes are being made more frequently, and overall I think that he is just not the player that we were looking at 2 seasons ago. So he's not good enough, and I think we should be looking to sell him. Fofana. Now I'm moving into the first team quality. I think that he is better than Koulibaly. Obviously, injuries factor into this, but I think that Fofana is definitely a better player than Koulibaly. He's already Premier League proven with Leicester and playing for us now a few times. But overall, yeah, I think Fofana definitely gets in. Koulibaly, he's a squad player. I think when we first signed him, the excitement of a Napoli defender who has been so great for them has been phenomenal, been looked at for the likes of Man United. They were looking at him for a short period of time. And overall, I was very happy with this signing. But looking at him actually playing with a Chelsea shirt on, we can see that he's uncomfortable on the ball. He seems to be clearing it a lot. He seems to be making mistakes. He's not sure where he is, out of position. So for me, Koulibaly is just going to be a squad player, and I would play Fofana. Moving on to Thiago Silva. Now, for me, he's untouchable. He's our best player this season. For a 38-year-old to be performing like he is an unbelievable achievement in itself. If you're looking at the likes of Thiago Silva, who played in 2 teams now, Brazil, the national team, they underperformed in the World Cup, as we know, and Chelsea's definitely underperforming. But Thiago Silva is still performing the same. He's getting consistent 8.0s, consistent passes, consistent tackles, consistent. He is unbelievable for us, and I think he's untouchable as well. Moving on to Chalobah, he's going to be a squad player. I think that he has shown promise at times, and I think that he could be used in a good way as a squad / bench player. Maybe with a bit more experience, trying to get him to play with a bit more confidence. He's made so many mistakes as well, so it's very difficult to put him anywhere near the first team quality. But overall, I think he's a good squad player. Cucurella, I think that he's going to be a first team quality player. I think that he's been very vital with us playing a back three or a back five or even a back four. He's been played at left back, left centre back in a back three, left wing back in a back five, and he has been quite crucial in that. But he is also making quite a few mistakes now. We're seeing it. He did play very well against Arsenal in the derby. He did manage to get on Saka's nerves quite a bit, and we saw that in the game. And I think that he has played some very good games for us. But overall, I don't think he can be classed as untouchable. I would still pick Chilwell over Cucurella, but that's just my opinion. Moving on now to N'Golo Kante. It's a tricky one for me. This is going to split a lot of opinion, but I'm going with Kante not good enough. He's too injury prone now, getting injured too much, and it's costing us a position, it's costing us wages, and overall I think we could try and pocket maybe 40, 50 mil, maybe even 60 at a push with the level that he is at currently, and we can try and earn that back and try and get some sort of deal with another midfielder, but that's another video in itself. Moving on to Jorginho, get out of my club. I've stuck up for Jorginho so much over the time. He is highly underrated since being nominated third best in the world for the Ballon d'Or. I know when that happened, a lot of people hated Jorginho, saying that he's rubbish and all that lot. He was very pivotal in the Italian side winning the Euros, and he was very important for Chelsea winning the Champions League as well. A lot of people seem to forget that. But I just think time's up now, and he does need to get a move on. I think he needs to get out of the club, and I think that he really needs that move away back to the Serie A or maybe even La Liga or a place like that. I think that he's definitely going to be used in a better way. I think overall at Chelsea, he just isn't getting the best out of it now. And I think that we need to free up that position for a potentially better signing, whether it's Enzo Fernandez, Declan Rice, anyone like that. Moving on to Kovacic, another player who's untouchable. I think Kovacic has been one of, if not our best midfielder this season and last season. I think he's been so good going forward. Technically on the ball, he's very hard to get the ball off of. He's aggressive. He's quite strong. He's very skillful on the ball. And I think that he is very good in our Chelsea midfield. Conor Gallagher, squad player, not much really to say about it. He did very well for Crystal Palace last season. I think that he's doing quite well for us as a squad player. Few mistakes he's making, that's why he's potentially not being looked at as the first team quality, but overall I think that he is a good squad player to have. Loftus-Cheek, not good enough. I don't know how many times I'm going to say it about Chelsea Football Club, but Loftus-Cheek needs to get out. Not in that category yet of get out of my club, but he is not good enough to the point where I think that he does deserve a better move, whether it is to Fulham, whether it's to Leeds, or maybe not a smaller club in the respect of smaller fans or anything like that, but a club that's lower in the league. I know Chelsea are 10th, so there's not that much. There's not that many teams below us, but yeah, I think Loftus-Cheek definitely needs to move out of the club. Chukwuemeka, great squad player. He's exciting, young, skillful, quite tall and quite strong as well. And I think that he could be used in a very good way going forward. He could be looking at the future of the club. Mason Mount, I'm going to put first team quality. He's very lucky I don't put him in squad player because he has been awful for us. His attitude stinks. The way he's walking around the pitch, his passes ain't going right. His shooting isn't on point. And I don't know what's happened to him. His confidence has been knocked or whatever it is. He has not been good enough. I would put him in untouchable if he hasn't had the performances that he's been having. So I'm definitely going to drop him to first team quality and even drop him to squad player if he continues his form. Havertz, not good enough. We spent a lot of money on him. We spent a lot of money on Werner. Look how that turned out. And then he's moved back to Bundesliga and he's been performing on his A game again. So I think Havertz definitely needs to move away to potentially free up our wages and get another player through the door that could be looking attacking. Pulisic, I see a lot of people hating Pulisic. The time's up for him and everyone's saying that. But I think that he's actually all right for us. I think that maybe not first team quality, but I think a squad player like Pulisic could be quite good to bring off the bench. He's quite skillful. He loves the left wing, cutting in with his right. But yeah, I think overall Pulisic is a good squad player and I don't see him leaving. I don't want him to leave. I think he's a good player still and he's got the potential still to carry on with Chelsea. Sterling, untouchable. Actually, sorry, first team quality. I was going to think untouchable straight away because I think that he's been one of our better players this season. He has had a few poor runs now with his games, and I think that potentially he could be looking at moving away very soon if he's not lucky. But I think that he has been actually a lot better for us, and I think that he is a good player who's important for us. Shown a lot of experience in the Premier League with Man City and Liverpool. Um, he's a very good player who could be used very well under Potham's system with the wingers. Moving on to Ziyech, get out of the club. I think that this is one of the biggest flops I've seen with Chelsea Football Club, and I've seen quite a few of Fernando Torres, Shevchenko, all that sort of stuff. But I think Ziyech, he needs to get out. I've had enough. He is not good enough for Chelsea. I think the style of play that he plays is not the style that is the Premier League. I think a move to maybe AC Milan, I know they're looking at him potentially. I think that that could be a good move for him. Aubameyang, get out the club. I think it was a ridiculous signing. I was very excited about the signing, I can't lie. But overall, he has been a bit lackluster, and I think that he's just underperformed massively. Now, Armando Broja, I think he's a squad player as well. I think that he's still young, had a horrific injury in the pre-season friendly against Aston Villa, I believe, and I think that he could potentially be looking at quite a while out. But when he does come back, I want to see him introduced to the squad more because I think that that could be very important going forward. So that's that. There are a few players that are missed out, so I'm going to quickly speak about them. David Fofana, the player from Malt, I think that is. I would put in the squad bench position, that sort of tier. I think that he's a good young player who could potentially get a lot of game time with the injuries that we're going through right now. We're looking at Felix. Obviously, he's going out. He's going to be leaving because he's only on loan. Same as Zakaria. But yeah, Badiashile as well. I think he's first team quality. I think that he could be the future of Chelsea Football Club. So, guys, thank you for watching. I hope you've enjoyed. Don't forget to subscribe, turn the notification bell on, and don't forget to like and comment and let me know what's your thoughts on this setup that I've got going. Tell me the tiers that you agree with, disagree with. Is there any players that should be moved? Let me know, and I'll see you in the next video. Cheers, guys.